What is the spiritual psychology of money? There are about 7 common limited beliefs people have about money. Today, I want to break on down everything from money's hard to make to believing that money will make you happy. If you're ready to really look at what's holding you back from your prosperity mindset and skill set and being able to actually create an abundance of money in this lifetime, you want to definitely watch and listen to this podcast. Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Hi there, I'm Dr. Erin, Doctor of Divinity and Master Spiritual Coach. We come together each week for really doing our deep soul clearing work. We come together each week to decode the deeper questions of spiritual psychology and unlocking the secrets of universal law and activating source energy. We come together each week right now in kind of a distinction, a spiritual psychology distinction, or really different layers and layers. Right now, I'm doing one on spiritual psychology 101. This week in particular is the spiritual psychology of money. We're also going to break down one universal law every week. This week is the universal law of tithing. I've always struggled to wonder, what is tithing? Why do we do it? And all the dynamics and what the true meaning of it from a metaphysical standpoint. And then, of course, we do a spiritual mind treatment to get our mind right. You can grab a tea or coffee, share this with your friends. We come together very briefly, 11 to 22 minutes to just get our mind right. So let's do this. Before we begin, just a little bit about me. I'm the founder of Spiritual Psychology School and Soulciété, the community. I've been in this journey for about 30 years. I had my full-term stillborn at the age of 22, which was 30 years ago. So I've been a seeker and really diving deep into my spiritual nature. And as Joseph Campbell said, that the student becomes a teacher. So I never knew in a million years or even thought it would be possible for me to do what I do today. Now I've trained over 10,000 soul-based coaches, work with huge celebrities and top CEOs. And really the heart of the matter is our mission here, which is awakening 1 billion people. We develop leaders, we develop, profound coaches and practitioners, and they bring the work out in their own platforms or in their, with their clients and also rising up in the school. So it's really an honor to do this. And this is a service that I love to do every week because it helps me get my mind right, helps everybody set their week in alignment with truth and in right mind. So you can binge this on a Sunday or any day of the week. Each week of the year, we have a universal law distinction and a bunch of stuff. So let's do this thing, the spiritual psychology of money. So we have to first define what is money, right? Money itself, I actually don't even have a dollar bill on me because I don't even carry physical money anymore. But money, if you take a look at it, is absolutely worthless as far as it's not backed by gold. It's not anything. It's just an agreed upon symbol that we use for the exchange of energy, right? So I've told my story many times, my money story, which was I grew up really poor. I had a rich dad, poor mom, and I was raised by my mom. So we went to the thrift store for things. I ended up getting odd jobs even in junior high, and I had a lot of trauma and things that happened around money. One of which I tell the story of when my sister was about, I think it was her 10th birthday. My mom decided she was going to take her friends, and me to ice skate. And the day of, she told me that I couldn't go because she couldn't afford to pay for all of us. So I, in being hysterical as they're driving away to the ice skating rink, decided, right? I decided I'd have money when I grew up. But not all, decisions like that are good. They're all coming out of scarcity, right? So even when we become successful, and I work with really big, celebrity CEOs that are very successful, but it doesn't mean that they're living from prosperity, right? So we have to really understand, as I grew up and realized that I was actually a self-made millionaire, but I was still living in so much lack, trying to hoard my money, trying to save every penny, really coming from fear and lack. I had to do my deep work to say, hey, it's not about, getting and becoming a millionaire, is becoming in the currency and the flow of the abundance of life. And so the psychology of money is understanding that money's not separate. It is literally a reflection of the consciousness. So when I'm training and developing practitioners and coaches, right, what we're doing is we're really looking at what's the false identity. What's this false identity and the low self-worth that's projecting out in your ability to generate money, right? And as we know in universal law and in the psychology, that The soul is where the limited beliefs are. The soul is where the stuck energetics and the false beliefs are, right? So in order to manifest and create money, right? First thing we have to do is clear out the subconscious mind. We have to clear out anything that is blocking the flow. As we say, the faucet. I use the analogy over and over again, or the metaphor that if you turn on a faucet, right, the water will flow, right? But if there's a bunch of granules and sand in the filter of the faucet, then you're going to get little drips of water. And that's like prosperity. That's money, right? The truth of money, when we're really looking at generating money, we know that we have to give to receive. It doesn't happen the opposite. We don't receive first. We receive from source and then we give it to the world and that reflects back, right? So when I'm working with a coach and having them do their deep work, we have to clear out all those little granules and the sand in their filter in their subconscious mind, right? We have to do the deep E4 work to release that stuff so that they can flow, they can actually receive from source within to give. The real secret of money and generating prosperity is giving and innovating and bringing value to the world, right? Being of value, right? We're not talking about transactional. You can get a bunch of stuff from the world, but never actually have true prosperity and abundance. So the psychology of money is understanding, number one, that money is really just a symbol of the exchange of energy. And we're here to master energy. We're the consciousness, we're the divine, we're one with the I am, right? That's our true identity. And we're here to give exponentially. What's the point of life? The point of life is to live and express. And that would mean we would also be generating a lot of money because we would be serving and expressing and giving value and solving problems for people and helping bring value and innovating and inventing, right? So I just want us all to take a deep breath together and just think about some of your beliefs, taking a deep breath in. Some of the common beliefs with money is that money's hard to make. Okay. I know I definitely had that belief for a long time. There's never enough money. Rich people are greedy, right? Or criminal, right? We have a lot of beliefs around that with money. Okay. Things like I'm not good with money. People like are afraid to actually make money because at a subconscious level, sometimes even in past life or their lineage, their ancestor lineage, they did harm with their energetics. So that's why we have to do a lot of deep inner work and amends and making sure that we're in a right mind to be able to believe that we're worthy of having money, right? Another belief is if I have more, others will have less, right? Or I don't deserve wealth or success, right? Or money is the root of all evil. These are the things. I also had the belief that if I had money, it would make me happy. We know there's now a study that has come out that up until about $70,000, yes, you can definitely like be stressed if you don't have money, if you can't pay your basic bills, if you can't get food on the table, right? But past $70,000, this research shows that it doesn't mean that you're any happier, right? In fact, you could be a multimillionaire and be very unhappy because you're stressed and you're, trying to, save your money and trying to not have people get your money and things like that, right? So over $70,000, it doesn't mean you're going to be any more happy with money. I really believe that when I became a self-made millionaire, that all my problems would be solved and how magically I'd be happy. And it's just not the truth. So the spiritual psychology of money is understanding that if we want to generate money, we have to be the consciousness that is prosperous. We have to be the consciousness that is abundant, right? Universal law is only abundant. There's only abundance in the universe. There's infinite ways of putting the elements of the universe together. There's infinite ways of solving people's problems. There's infinite ways of bringing value, right? So the psychology of money first is really getting the identity of knowing that you are the I am, that you are, your birthright is prosperity. Your birthright is to be able to create whatever it is that you choose to create. The spiritual psychology of money is recognizing that everything comes from source, that all the reality, all the gold, everything has been created from this one divine source. The psychology of it is understanding that if you have limited beliefs and false identity, that it's just going to project out. If you have low self-worth, you're not going to be able to even receive money. Even if it's coming at you, you'll destroy it, sabotage it, whatever it is. So that's really the psychology behind all of it. Now, to generate money, we have to really, really get in alignment with what we love to do to help serve and solve people's problems. And that's the core work that we do in the school, is helping people birth their soul's purpose and be able to help and align with that unique divine niche in the coaching or practitioner world, right? Being able to serve people, bringing the spiritual distinctions into their business, being able to really, really make a difference on the planet, bringing more harmony, helping solve people's problems, helping them get clear of their core values, helping them really, really become a master of their own energetics as well. Okay, so the next little segment we have here is the universal law lesson of the week. And this universal law is the law of tithing. And for me, I was not raised religious, so I never had the conversation of tithing or not tithing. But I did go to church a few times as a little girl, and I remember them passing this little basket around and thinking, well, that's so weird. They give money. Like it was like this awkward energy in the room. And then as I began to do a lot of spiritual work and I actually worked in a spiritual center, they would also pass a little basket around. And I just, something didn't sit right with me. I would be happy to pay for courses. I'd be happy to do, but this thought of this basket being passed around to put money in it. So I began to dive deep into it. Like, where's my resistance? What's happening with this, right? So even researching it from a biblical standpoint, right? The truth is that tithing, right, means 10%, right? So tithing means giving your talents, your time, and your treasure, okay? So from a spiritual perspective, tithing is giving 10% to your spiritual practice. So most, if you're a master practitioner, in general, you're giving 2.5 hours. 10% of your day is 2.5 hours of your time to your spiritual practice, your prayer, your meditation, whatever that is. Your life becomes your prayer, right? But as you think about if you want to give to the world, right, you'd give your time, right, your talent, and your treasure, right? So no matter what it is that you want to expand in your life, if you give your energy, your time, your talent, give your skill set, give whatever it is, and give your money towards these things, it has to reflect back exponentially. So for me, I always believe that the greatest investment I can ever make, and the only investment I really am ever going to make, is in my consciousness. And hear me out on this, because if I'm developing my business, even I'm developing my skill set, my mindset, I'm developing being able to bring truth to the world, right? I have to develop my mindset. So everything that I give my time and talent to is to my consciousness so that I can be so filled up and expanded in God's source within and in my expanded, divine consciousness and the I am consciousness so that I can give to the world to bring truth, to help, help people clear their subconscious mind, their soul work, all that so that it gives back exponentially. So my question for you is, where are you giving your energy? Where are you giving your time? Are you sitting around watching television and eating junk food, right? Energizing drama in dysfunctional relationships, right? Where are you giving your talents, right? Is it just, whatever, maybe on TikTok and that's good. And maybe it's coming back exponentially, but maybe you're giving it to the wrong people, right? The wrong places. I have no idea. Where are you giving your money? Where are you spending your money? And that's going to come back exponentially. So you just have to know that this law works, right? Wherever you're giving your time and wherever you're giving 10% of your time is going to come back exponentially. We all give a little bit of time towards a little things that are off principle, maybe, but when it starts to get 10% or more of our time, talent, or treasure, boy, you better watch out. It's going to come back exponentially, good or bad. It's just going to reflect because the universal law just says yes. Okay, so let's do a spiritual mind treatment on this. Take a deep breath in. Recognizing right here, right now, the birthright of prosperity. Recognizing that money is simply a symbol of the exchange of energy. I recognize right here, right now, that my consciousness is more powerful than all money because my consciousness is the I am. It's the source that created all gold, all money, everything. Therefore, my consciousness is always more powerful than all the money. I never consider the moment that I consider money to be more powerful than me, then I create myself disempowered. I recognize wherever I'm handing my power over in the external world to money is where that area of my life is going to be completely disempowered because it's a lie. I recognize the truth shall set me free. The truth shall set everyone free that is listening or watching in right now. I recognize right now the power to exchange and give exponentially. Where are you being stingy? Where are you being stingy with your time? Where are you being stingy with giving your skill set and your talents? Where are you being stingy with your money? I recognize right here that it's an exchange, it's a circulation. And as we circulate, as we receive, as we give, as we all that flows, we're getting from the divine, we're getting from God's source within, and we're giving exponentially. And as we give more and more service, more and more talent, more and more gifts, more and more innovation, more and more invention, we will receive the glory. We will receive exponential prosperity, abundance, and yes, money. I'm knowing this absolutely. I know and I can see in my own life where I need to get more express, more giving, more giving to be able to receive more of the self, more of life, more in prosperity, more money. I say yes because universal law only says yes, and I claim my birthright and I claim everyone's birthright right now for prosperity, abundance, and money. As together we say, and so it is. And so it is. Okay, you guys, if you're ready to have a deeper breakthrough with money, what I recommend is coming into the SPPC program. You can actually get your work done, learning self-processing. You can, learn how to get trained in the work and learn how to really, truly break through those blocks, unlock source energy, and unlock your birthright of prosperity. You can also, if you're new, you can grab the Universal Law Calendar link below. It's free. You can get it on your calendar. You can come in here, listen or watch the podcast, get your mind right. Download the Soulciété app, get in there. We have community. The weekly podcast is on there as well. All that good stuff. We're here to serve exponentially. And I just want you to know that you are so loved by the divine. I release and let go and let spirit run the show for sure. Have a beautiful, blessed day, you guys. And may you live your truth.